So I am in the Reading Terminal Market here in downtown Philly, right across the street from the convention center. And I got to tell you, everywhere you look, there are Bernie Sanders supporters and active Americans who are engaged and talking about what's going on everywhere you look. I have not seen a Hillary supporter yet today, except a few delegates. So I'm going to introduce. Oh boy, wait. Oh, it was in my Robert Bailey. I remembered it. Good. Okay, this is Robert Bailey, and he has some really cool insights and thoughts to share with us. And he's got this really amazing sign too. Can't buy my vote, right?
Yep, and
burn your bus. Yay! All right. So, Robert, go ahead and share your thoughts with people back home.
Yep, so just to let everyone know, I am a Connecticut Republican who changed to the Democratic Party to vote for Bernie Sanders. And basically, I just wanted to tell everyone that I think this is important, that really to move forward as a country politically, we all need to look within ourselves and ask ourselves, what is government supposed to do? Because that is really what this election is about, in the last several elections. And I think one thing that we can all agree on is that the fundamentals of the Constitution, in the context given by the Declaration of Independence and the history, really lay the groundwork for things that we can all agree on. And what I believe those things are, like at a basic level, what the government should ensure, or at least aim to ensure for all free men and women, is one, of course, equal protection of rights under the law, which we can all do, no one would argue that. But two, more importantly, and this is the part that's hard for people to understand, is enabling individuals to empower themselves to make their lives happier, to pursue happiness. So what does that mean? Different people have different interpretations of that. The far right would say, allow the free market to do what it can, because that's the most efficient system, to get at whatever is most economically efficient for people to drive towards that on their own. On the far left, they would say there should be some sort of welfare state. Personally, I believe that the government should focus on enabling individuals. What that means is, say, giving people the tools to help themselves out of poverty and help advance society forward through technological advancement and innovation. So, I believe, for example, in subsidized higher education for everyone, so that people have the opportunity to, as I said, empower themselves. But then I would not necessarily believe in a living wage or some sort of other, larger welfare for doing nothing. I believe that people want to work, they want to produce, they want to do something meaningful with their lives. And the government, when free market capitalism does not provide that opportunity, should step in and allow people the opportunity to enhance themselves.
Right. And so you are down here in Philadelphia this week, specifically because why?
To support Bernie Sanders. I believe that this time more than ever, the delegates, the super delegates, and the regular delegates need to hear and know that Americans support and want Bernie Sanders for president, and that even regardless of what he may or may not be saying on TV, that this is the right thing to do. That to continue to support him and get him to be the nominee for president is the right thing to do, and gets us, and I believe, of all the candidates running for president, the closest towards that vision of a government that enables its people and protects its people's individual rights. So
there are 715 superdelegates, and the difference between Hillary and Bernie Sanders right now is about 400 delegates. So the superdelegates are in a position of being the tiebreaker. If they were to surprise us and maybe follow their human conscience as people rather than their career conscience or their Democratic Party affiliation conscience or their profit motive conscience, if they were to tap into their humanity and surprise us by voting for Bernie Sanders so that the Democratic Party nominated Bernie Sanders going forward, what do you think would be the reaction in America and around the world?
It'd be overwhelming. I think it'd be overwhelmingly positive because, if you think about the race, it's very close, and we know now that for sure that it was rigged. If we were to say have a redo on it where there was not that obvious bias, it seems perfectly plausible, if not likely, to me that we would have nominated, clearly nominated Bernie. So I don't. I mean, when you look around and you see all the supporters on either side of the Hillary-Bernie spectrum, there are very few there are very few Hillary supporters. I personally have seen extremely few. That you see Bernie supporters come out in the thousands. I don't think you would hear any sort of outcry from anyone if Hillary got snubbed. And, I mean, especially when you think about Net Promoter Score and the fact that no president has ever won with a negative Net Promoter Score, and Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump will both be the first candidates to go head-to-head with negative Net Promoter Scores. Meanwhile, you have Bernie Sanders with a very high positive Net Promoter Score.
Do you want to explain what that is to people who don't understand?
So, Net Promoter Score is basically the difference between the number of people who have a favorable opinion of someone or something versus a negative opinion of someone or something. So when you're, there's multiple ways to measure, but basically, if you're positive, that means that more people like you than they dislike you. If you're negative, more people dislike you than they like you. So Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are both in the pretty deep negative territory. Bernie Sanders is in the pretty deep positive territory. No winning president since they've kept track of the statistics has ever won with a negative Net Promoter Score.
Yeah, but if you give us two negative net people, then we don't have a real choice on the ballot, do we? One of them's going to win, and we'll have, yay, the first person who ever won with a net negative, because those are the only options offered.
If that is what happens, I'm not going to say that anything about the general election will be predictable either.
Yeah. So what do you know about exit polls this year? Have you been tracking that?
Exit polls are generally much more in Bernie's favor than they were the polls leading up to the convention, or to the primaries.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's really great. Yeah, me too. And thank you very much for the interview. And I'll get in touch with you so you can find it on YouTube.
Great.
All right, everyone. Bye.